He is somebody who is such a wonderful person. My first question is like, hey, so what was your workout today? Like, oh, we can't even match you, so please just run away from here. In Sulal, there was a scene where I lost my son, and I can't just put glycerine and cry. Will it make it believable? Even before going and performing Radha Rama, I would do about 50-60 push-ups. I would do a small routine every time before a shot. I'm so fortunate, Prashant literally took me under his wings. Madam, neenga item song panvingla. I said, neenga mattam enna veetukku vaanga. It was a big hero, a big superstar. Can you just brighten yourself? Your shoulders are too erect, which are not too cool.
அப்பவும் இப்பவும் எப்பவும் சென்னை
அதிரடி கலெக்ஷன் சரவெடி செலிப்ரேஷன்
ஆண்டுக்கு 7.25% வரை வட்டி. உஜ்ஜீவன் ஸ்மால் ஃபைனான்ஸ் பேங்கின் மேக்ஸிமம் சேவிங்ஸ் அக்கவுண்ட்.
Lakshmi Ceramics, நம்ம ஷாப் அனைத்திலும் டாப்.
Sriya Reddy, welcome to Galatta Plus.
Thank you.
And so, I see you worn these amazing shoes.
They're my little armor.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we do mid shots here. So I've asked my cameraman to take pictures of these shoes,
and
they have a red bottom. So are they the brand that I think?
Yes.
Okay,
it
so
is.
yeah, okay, it is. So you really dressed up. So
I feel, people think clothes are just for aesthetic reasons, but I feel it's an extension of my personality. It's an extension of my voice. So I dress up as an extension of what I would like to say for the day.
So what is this black dress and the Louboutin?
It's just not a black dress.
Okay.
It's a corseted black dress.
Okay.
Which is cinched at the waist, which means I'm ready and powerful, and it also kind of denotes strength.
Nice.
So yeah.
There's all these things in the black dress. And what is that? The necklace with the circle?
Oh, that is just...
nothing there?
Nothing there.
Okay. That's not the power move.
That's not the power move. The corset, the wired corset on the waist, which says we are ready for action now. So...
Okay. And the Louboutin?
That's got a little bit of an armor here, so that apart from my strength, if anybody really needs to act funny with me, then I use these.
I've always, as somebody who pays no attention to what he wears, I've always been fascinated by not just the care some people take, which is fascinating, right? It's like you always admire, like for instance, I don't care much about what I eat. So I'm always, when people say I'm a foodie, I'm always fascinated by, they go to a place, they study the menu extensively, and they try to eat something that they haven't eaten before.
Yeah.
So when you wear a shoe like that, which has a heel about this big, when was the first time you said, I can do this, I can balance myself on this?
I think I've been fortunate because being an athlete, you already have very well-developed legs and strong legs at a very young age. So the moment at the age of 18 when we decided to start wearing heels, it was just felt like an extension for your legs.
For your legs?
Yeah. So it didn't feel awkward or difficult.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something really icky and weird. I was going through your interviews down the years, and I think around about 2013, 14, an interview referred to you as the leggy lass.
Oh God.
I was like, no, they did not actually say that. Just like...
Oh God.
So that's weird, right?
I take it as a very different way of a compliment because I know how hard I've had to work to get those legs. And again, I said it's not for aesthetic reasons, because the stronger the legs you had, the faster you could move in a 100-meter, 200-meter relay. So I've been an athlete in school and college, and I still train like an athlete. So my training schedules are like as intense as any footballer or any cricketer as of date, to today.
So you wake up and like what happens on an ordinary day?
So my day starts very early at 5. So because I think the body is so ready at that time when you push the hardest on an empty stomach. So my day, the first training for the day starts at 5. And then another training, which is more weighted training, which starts in the evening. And if I have energy, there's a 1 hour of martial arts that I do every single day. So this is an ideal day of happiness for me when I try to get 2 to 3 hours of physical activity. So yeah.
That's interesting. That means that you have your fashion on one side, your fitness on one side, and somehow in the middle you manage to fit in film projects.
But you know, I actually feel all of this really helps me become a better performer.
Okay.
And I'll tell you how. People think that once the camera switched on, you come and perform. It just doesn't happen. I mean, if it does happen to somebody like that, great on them, right? But there is so much of homework that actually needs to go in. Apart from just rehearsing those lines. Rehearsing lines, you can go and spit it out there. What happens when you have to emote? And for me, I truly believe I give away my life when I perform. Because as part of yourself, you have to surrender and give it away, right? So in Sulal, there was a scene where I lost my son. And I can't just put glycerine and cry. Will it make it believable? Probably to about 15%. But if I want, after say 3 to 4 years, people still talking about that character, you need to put in that extra effort. You have to give yourself to that. And by giving yourself, you also, part of you goes away. And to answer your question, how does the fitness and how does all of this come in? Fitness, people think again it's to be thin and fat. It is not that aesthetic thing. It is about what you feel inside. So Bruce Lee doesn't need to hit this. He doesn't have to move so much. It is just this. It is just that short move, right?
Okay.
So like that, your core needs to be really, really strong. I remember for Salar, even before going and performing Radha Rama, I would do about 50, 60 push-ups. I would do a small routine every time before a shot.
In costume.
In costume.
Okay.
In costume, in my caravan, I would do whatever I can, and push-ups were one of the primarily workouts because that was the easiest I could do. And I would always request for some time when they say ready for the shot, I would quickly run to my caravan, finish my little bit of a workout and go back there because it made me feel empowered. When I stand there in Kansar with so many men, if I have to feel invincible, I needed to feel it from within. So these were the preps that you actually do.
I heard that Jagapati Babu actually told you that you have to get out of character between shots because you were like trying to be Radharama throughout the shooting schedule.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of a prep as well?
Yes, because I always believe you can't switch on and switch off.
You stay in character.
I stay in character. And long after the camera switched off, long after you go back and come back the next day, I can't switch off.
Okay.
I truly believe that I was a queen and I have to be that because I feel that's when the believability comes in, where you feel really people need to believe who you are.
Okay.
I mean, this is my way because I do such seldom films that I feel I don't know any other way.
We'll come to that.
Yeah.
That's something we need to talk about. But your dad is the international cricketer Bharat Reddy, and there was a time that you wanted to become a cricketing commentator, and that would have gone very well with your voice, I feel. What made you say, okay, this is not something I'm going to do?
See, I wanted to be on an international platform at the age of 14. And, trying to maneuver through that would have been really difficult. The quickest thing that came to me as soon as I finished school was SS Music. And the moment they came and said, listen, we love your voice and let's try and do a couple of auditions here. It was the easiest. And then once that happened, then there was no thinking, like I got what I wanted in a different way.
Yeah.
But cricket and sports was always my first love, and it's still my first love. I love sports and any form of sport, and cricket is like, I love cricket.
You play cricket?
I don't play cricket, but I'm like a huge fan, and being physically fit, any sport is kind of something that happens on an everyday basis. So cricket commentating was something that felt like it was in my blood.
It was in your blood. Now, getting back to the part where you seldom do roles, it's like, now, why did it take so long for you, and Prashant Neel wanted you for Salar, Sujit wants you for OG, why does it take you so long to commit to something? Does one part of you not say, this is going to be seen by many people, these movies are going to be seen by many people. Let's just go in there, have a good time, come out of there. That's not how you look at it, obviously.
Definitely not.
So what is it that
So a lot of people who don't know, for me, it is at this point, or I think I was always like that. For me, it is working with good people. And for me, it is the money and the fame have not been my driving force. For me, it is what I can add value to a particular character, and also working with people I'm comfortable working with. Because I feel magic can happen when you like the surroundings you are in. And since I told you I'm a complete introvert, for me,
this was before we started shooting, so yeah.
So I'm an introvert, and I feel I need to be very comfortable with the kind of people I'm working with. I need to understand me, right? And I'm so fortunate. Prashant literally took me under his wings, and even though I was cranky and even though I was eating his head for most of the things, he was okay with any of that because he knew where I was coming from and he understood me. And so was Sujit. Sujit, I think, again, OG has been such a blessing, apart from box office numbers and all the fanfare that it's been receiving. I feel there is a phrase in English that says, where you sift the grain from the shaft, where it's I think it's an agricultural term that farmers use called winnowing, where, you know, when they put the husk in the air and whatever is not necessary flies off and the heavy wheat grain falls in the ground, right? So where we shift the good from the bad. And that is how I would like to term Pawan Kalyan sir as. He knows the good from the bad, and he doesn't consider the bad being bad, but he is somebody who is such a wonderful person, and that aura and that niceness of his has transcended to everybody in the set. So now do you see where I am getting at, where you say working with good people really matter? And so is Sujit. He is one of the nicest human beings ever, right? And whatever he might come out with, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I was happy that I've become richer coming out of OG, as that I have gathered and garnered these people in my life.
Okay.
And for me, cinema is that, where I'm able to garner a little more than what people actually see on screen.
Right. So it's more than this is my role, these are my lines, this is my costume, this is my whatever. It's also about what's behind the camera.
Yes.
Okay. So that and when you say good people, you're not talking about people who are good at their job, but also people who are genuinely good outside.
Yes, because I just feel and I think it is also who you attract, right? And I think you are great. I think you're a wonderful human being, and I don't know who you are. And how have I come to this conclusion is because I see what you bring to every interview of yours. Over the period of time, I've seen your interviews and I've seen what you bring to the table, right? So unless there's some kind of honesty and integrity in you, that wouldn't have come on screen, right? And that is what I look for.
Okay.
Somebody's honesty and integrity, because once you have those two elements, everything else is okay. You will figure it out. You will the character will come out well. The film will come out well. Even if it is a flop, it really doesn't matter, because you were honest towards what you were heading at.
So when you are on set with a Prabhas or a Pawan Kalyan, Prithviraj, you know, generally what happens is the people around them get very starstruck. There's always a, sir, what do you want? Sir, what do you want? Sir, can we do this? Sir, can we do that? You don't come across as such a person to me.
And I can't also.
So you just say, hey Prabhas, hey Pawan, is that how you go about? What is it that I'm trying to imagine Sriya in that kind of a scenario where everybody's like, 20 feet away from these people and wanting, not to talk to them, and
So yeah, my first question is like, hey, so what was your workout today? Like, oh, we can't even match you, so please just run away from it. Is exactly the conversation. Because I think once you start having intelligent conversations and you want those intelligent conversations, sometimes it's intriguing for everybody, right? You immediately, you get onto that bandwagon. You really don't worry about all the fluff that is happening around, right? And I'm somebody who really doesn't talk to anybody. I like to go do my work and step out. I'm not here to make friends or, chit chat and all of that, because you're already in your character. And these guys are stalwarts. They know their lines coming out of the back of their head. For me, I have had weeks of preparation and I need to particular way to look, all of that. So I'm in that zone. So here to sit and chit chat, there is actually,
Not much.
Not much at all. I don't
Okay.
have that opportunity.
You said that you gave Prashant a hard time before you agreed to Salar, because you are like, why do you want me? Let's design our costumes together. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with that. And, he went along with all those suggestions because he thought you were actually contributing to the character. Did you give a hard time to Sujit as well?
Sujit is a totally different ballgame because he's this little young boy jumping from here to there, and everybody in a way was trying to bully him around, because and he is somebody who's very interesting. I've never seen a person like him. People would bully him. He would say yes to okay to everything what people want him to do, but ultimately he'll do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So that was a very interesting point of his personality. But I told him, I said, Sujit, my only thing I keep telling him is, I will kill you if you don't get my role to where it is. And I said, you have made me come and do this old character, but you have given me a powerful role. So I have said okay to it. So he says, no, man, you don't have to worry. I said, I will make sure you not cut my scenes. But he did a pretty good job. Yeah, I'm happy.
So that's another thing with that role of Geeta. You are a secret keeper in the movie. I'm not going to say more for those who haven't seen the film. But, there are lots of people who hesitate adding a streak of grey or something like that to their hair. And clearly that's not a concern with you.
I didn't have makeup also in the film.
Yeah.
And they said they want to age me and they want to put white hair. I said, you guys do what you want to. As long as I am able to come and perform something different, bring in a different dimension for myself and for the film, great.
Right. So the looks part does not bother you at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. What is that something different that you did in OG, in your opinion?
I think I brought in reality. In mainstream commercial films, I feel there's so much more that the director has to cater to. There is a huge fan base that he has to cater to. He has to cater to various other things, to what the producer wants, to what everybody wants. And I feel somewhere realness kind of gets a little forgotten. And I feel I brought in that realness. I feel the emotion in the entire film comes from Geeta and her backstory. So I felt that needed certain amount of realness. And having Ravi K. Chandran behind the lens, he would just not allow me to even put a drop of makeup on my face. And he was like, this character doesn't need to look beautiful. You don't need to look beautiful. So we didn't have any makeup. He would literally ask us to wash our face and come on screen. And and then they kept putting that white would keep going and they would keep pussifying that white on my hair. I said, do what you guys want to. It doesn't matter to me. But I guess just to answer your question, yes, I brought in reality and yeah.
So I've heard many actors talk about this. They talk about presentation. They want to be presented a certain way, right? And sometimes that presentation includes the way they look. Is that important to you at all?
Presentation, yes, but not in terms of look.
Okay.
For me, it is more about I delve into the character. How is this character adds value to the entire film?
Okay.
That way. How is she presented? What power does she bring into the narrative? And presentation is very, very important for me. And I do ask these key questions, and they sometimes are like, oh God. And some younger directors are like, wow, ma'am, we're so happy you are asking. People don't ask us for these.
Tell me some of these questions.
I ask first and foremost, how is she adds value to the entire narrative? Point number one. Then I ask for when she is on screen, when she comes on screen and say, yeah, you come and you deliver this great line and all of that is there. I said, fair enough. Is she alone in the screen when she delivers that line? Or is she with an ensemble cast? Because everything matters. So these questions need to be asked at the very nasal phase of scripting itself. When they give you a narration, these are the questions I ask. I know they could get very irritated by if a woman asks these questions, but I think it is important because you can't sit and cry later, right? These are the questions that need to be asked now. So for me, that is important. When I'm delivering a power packed, say, a few lines in a particular scene, I need to hold my own. And that's exactly what Prashant did in the interval scene. After which there were scenes that she came and went, but there was nowhere in her limited screen space that you could say that Radharama can be forgotten.
Yeah.
She felt invincible even in a bunch of men. Now, do I expect this in every film? Probably not. But there has to be a certain amount what she brings to the table, whichever character. And I don't think anybody would not, I mean, they wouldn't come to me also if I didn't have that.
So it's very interesting to me that Priyadarshan came to you for the Annam character in Kanchivaram.
Yeah.
Because that is not a Sriya Reddy character, right? So that's a real challenge because it's one looks at you and says you come across as very confident, very powerful, very vocal. That's a very different kind of character. How did you enter that zone?
That's again where a legend is, like, he's a legend and
Yeah.
he sees things very differently. And I think that is a phase that I was in at that point, you know. That's why I say, you know, what you are in real kind of transforms into your workspace as well. I don't think I can play that character anymore.
Really?
No, I can't.
Why?
It was the innocence and the vulnerability I had at that point for that stage of my life. I did even a character called Pandyama in Veil with Vasanta Balan sir. And there was a certain amount of innocence that I can't bring back today. I can bring in vulnerability, I can bring in a lot of emotion. But you must understand that it is a certain place and time when that can come. That is very, very vulnerable. I am not that person anymore. And I feel that is why I say, you know, there's a lot that comes from within as an actor for me. And I'm ready to take swords, katana or a kalari thing. I'm in that zone at this point, right? And I think also cinema is calling for that. Calling for women to have that particular strength on screen. And that, I'm talking about 20 years ago, that wasn't there. That was not the need. Today, it's the need, and I'm glad that I'm fitting into the need as well.
Okay.
So,
So your next film, do you have planned where you're picking up swords?
I am not doing anything without a sword.
Okay.
For the time being.
Okay, so let's put it out there.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want Shriya in your movie,
Yeah.
you got to give her a sword.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. So-
Kill Bill was made how many years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't had a Kill Bill in Indian cinema as
Right.
yet. Yes, Loka has done so well, and Loka, again, see, that is a progressive, right? That is so progressive, that film. And I feel, now, come on, yeah, I think women can exude that strength on screen, and people, I think most of the actresses are physically fit. And, but yeah, learning a new skill set has been a game changer for me.
Which is?
Kalaripattu. I'm like, and I'm just not learning it like every day, just going, learning, coming. No, I have gone into so much in depth with it that it has become a lifestyle for me. It is becoming my discipline ground. So I need to practice every day 15 minutes with it. And in Kalaripattu, it's got different, like the long stick, the short stick, otakol, the curve, the hook kind of a thing. Then you have, I don't know what it's called, the one that you take it out like a belt and it's like a big,
It's like a
wiry
sword but a belt.
Yeah,
The
it was
flexible
started,
sword.
yeah, pre-British time is when this art came into form. And we're learning the sword. And in fact, I'm going for an intense workshop to Kerala where it is nothing like touching your feet on the soil and performing under. You know, they have these little kind of pits that it's, I think it's somewhere, it has to be in a particular kind of a temperature. So I want to go do that where I feel more connected to the art.
Okay.
just learning it in an AC room is not art form. So I feel like I need to, because I love the art so much that I want to get into more of it.
So when you do all this physical stuff, I mean, you mentioned that you used to do push-ups before
Yeah.
every shot as Radharama and Salar. When you put yourself through this kind of intense physical activity, how does it affect your inner engineering? You know what I'm asking? The
It makes you feel very powerful. It makes you feel very
power
real.
is very important to you.
Power is important to everybody. It has to be, because otherwise you're going to be pushed around.
Okay.
Right? Everybody has an innate control. I'm reading this beautiful book, Forest Enchantment, Eyes Through Sita, the Ramayana through Sita. And for the longest time, even me, I don't know mythology too much, but I'm just delving into it, that she was the more demure, more passive one, and she gave up her own needs for Ram to become who he is today, right? But when you read this book, I'm just halfway through the book. When you read this book, you do realize that it is, if it was not her strength and her power that she had, Ram wouldn't have been who he is today. It is her help, her support, her guidance that aided him, right? I could be completely wrong, but this is what the book says, right? And she is not passive. So somebody is very passive, you can't say they don't have the strength. Strength is the number one ability everybody needs to have. A strength to write and finish an exam, a strength to finish a race, a strength when all odds are against you to go and finish a film. I remember doing a Malayalam film and I sitting in one of the rocks in Cochin, howling and crying because I'm like, they're giving me pages of Malayalam. And I was like, no, I want to go back home.
Is this the Mammootty film?
No, it was another film that I did
Okay.
with, I don't know, one of the few films that I did there. And
Okay.
I remember going through the Malayalam dialogues and I'm like, I can't do this. Because I hate prompting. And I'm like, I can't do this. I just want to pack my bags and go. And that required strength to stick on and to finish that film, come what may. And I was able to do it because of somewhere the strength that came from within. So strength is very, very important, I feel.
But, you know, otherwise, all these other factors apart, what is it like being in a mega production like Salar or OG? Is there a difference being on set is what I'm trying to say.
I guess it is, in a way. It is. Does it affect me much? Probably not, because I think I do my own little number on the side. And I think that's why I say working with people who understand, who are progressive in thinking, don't make you feel any other way. Just not me, but anybody else, right? That's where PK Sir comes in. And, you know, he's such a educated, well-spoken, and a very progressive thinker that he doesn't make the environment feel iffy, if you know what I mean, right? And so is Sujit. Sujit is just like one yuppie guy feels like he's just come out of America or somewhere, and he's just this little cool little boy jumping around. That's how we felt, right? And I think OG is a testimony for that. It was just one of the nicest sets I've been on. Like, it's just so fun. And Ravi K is like somebody who I've known from my childhood, and to just have him around and just everybody, they were really a bunch of very nice people.
So you started out with this Vikram movie called Samurai.
Yeah.
Was that something like, let me just give this a shot and see what happens, or were you always serious about acting?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
I was in SS Music, and I remember I got a call, and I, as usual, for every project that comes to me, I say no. And they're like, no, you have to just be a VJ in that. You have to just sing. And I said, no, I can't dance. I cannot dance to save my life.
Well,
No,
you
no.
did with...
Yeah, but that's the only thing I said. A little bit here, there, I can move, but I can't move my legs and hands in coordination. No way. So I still remember...
I have a video on the internet that says that you can.
Oh, you please tell me one dance move I've done there.
You're doing all these jungle cat moves.
That is all your sporty ways. That is all like what a sportswoman would do. I can jump, I can do all of them, but I can't dance. I cannot just dance to save my life. I'm so bad. But yeah, to
I think at that point, when they wanted to show some predatory woman, they had all these jungle cat moves.
Because what else can they do with me when I can't dance?
Yeah.
There's only gimmicks that they can do to save their day. But yeah, I mean,
It has quite a following, huh, that song.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh God. Things that are no, actually I like that song. Samurai is something that I want to forget because of how terrible I looked. But again, Nalini and Sriram, the Sriram was the producer and Nalini was his wife and the costume designer as well. I remember they literally took care of me like a child, their own child. And I remember the day I finished the shoot of that film, Nalini coming home and dropping me home and telling my parents, here, I've dropped your daughter back in one piece. So that is, again, I feel somewhere, did I really want to get into acting? No. But I wanted to do cool stuff, like something where I looked cool and kind of called it my own in a way. And I think even that role and that song and all of that happened to be in a cool in a way. So, and again, working with nice people kind of really helped. So, yeah, I don't know. At that point, I was not too sure at all.
So at that age, when you saw somebody like Vikram, did you pally up with him, or were you at a distance, or what was it like?
No, no, definitely. I think I did a Coke ad with him at that point, so I kind of knew him. I did an ad with Rajiv Menon and him. So, but those things don't like affect me as much. I feel like I'm also all about doing your work, getting out. What I have in the plate of this big plate of biryani. So I am more worried about what I bring to the table as opposed to what everybody else is doing. That way, I'm not at all insecure. I'm very, very secure.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And this has been you right from childhood?
Yes. I think that's being an athlete. We are always so focused about your start and your end goal is there. We are not looking whether who's going to go ahead of you or not even look behind. So focus. And I started at the age of 12, My trainings was at that point was 5 in the morning because school would start at 7:30. So our training would start at 5. So my days of partying or doing anything, there was no space for all of that in my life. So that is why till today I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink at all. I've never drunk my entire life. And I'm so proud of that.
You've never had a sip or taste?
Never.
Okay.
And I don't even know how to hold a cigarette. So I am that disciplined.
I can understand, but there's always a curiosity about,
Never.
Yeah.
I don't even like people say, oh, maybe you would have had champagne and wine. And I'm like, no. These things actually, I find it very silly. I don't get into that aspect of it.
You find champagne and wine silly?
I feel it's a ridiculous thing to put in my body. What is it doing to me? Is it making me be a better person? Is it making me feel better? No.
Okay. And that I can understand, but
yeah, like
sometimes
it has to add value. For me, anything, like even sitting here.
So you don't eat chips?
I like chips because I genuinely like the taste of chips.
Okay, that way. Okay.
Yeah, right. I love sugar. For me, that is like a drug for me. I cannot not do without sugar. But does it add value? For me, anything does it add value. Like sitting here and talking to you, I take away a lot. Like I would go to sleep tonight thinking about our conversations because this is adding value for me. You sharing your experience before we started this interview about you talking to various other people and their inputs, what they've given you. So those are things that will be reeling in my head long after we finish this. For me, that is my value.
Right. So everything that you do, whether it's a performance, whether it's food, whether it's an activity, it has to add value.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's you in a nutshell.
Yes.
Now, what kind of roles did you want to play, and what kind of roles did you find coming your way after Samurai?
Forget after Samurai, after Thimire, where I've given my life and soul. I remember my hands like literally cut, and tiny stones had pierced into my hand, into my knee. I was a mental wreck after doing that role. And the first offer that I got was, Madam, நீங்க item song பண்ணுவீங்களா? I said, நீங்க மட்டும் என்ன வீட்டுக்கு வாங்க. நான் yes or no நான் சொல்றேன், நீங்க வீட்டுக்கு வாங்க. That guy said, எதுக்கு madam? It was a big hero, a big superstar film that they asked me to
Tell
do.
me who he is.
I said, நீங்க மீட்டுக்கு மட்டும் வாங்க நான் சொல்றேன். So I said, so I was quite horrified. And that's the reason why I said, you know what, I don't think I'm cut out for this industry. And I decided to get married. So Kanjivaram, in fact, happened before Thimire.
Your husband's not going to be happy about this. You know, I was not happy about this industry, so I decided to get married. That
But
sounds...
it kind of worked out in a way because he was the producer of the film.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. So, and he also thinks I'm pretty mad. So it's okay. It all just worked out just fine.
I remember this quote that you said about him, that he's this nice Andhra Reddy boy who did not want me to come back into films, and he's very upset about my comeback. This is some time back.
Yeah, maybe. But now he's like, you please go do what you have to do because you're driving us insane. Like, you know, you're like, oh, this. Because for me, I think the only driving force for me is to perform. I have a fire in me and I want to perform. I want to do those roles. And he keeps seeing me train. He says, you're really mad. Why are you taking up a martial art at this stage? Martial arts are supposed to be taken at the age of 3 or 4 when the bones are just getting developed. It's the best because you'll be able to catch on to it immediately.
You also become more pliable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it is extremely difficult. I went to Japan and the only thing I wanted to do is to go into the ninja schools to see where I can start training. So that is something I also want to do. I want to go back to Japan and take up a course in one of these mixed martial arts and ninja training, which I absolutely love. So, yeah.
So going back to the item song.
Yeah. So item song. And then I'm like, after doing all the heavy lifting and performing my hearts out, you're asking me to do an item song. It's a bit much, I thought. So that's when I decided, okay, maybe this is not for me, and just let's take a back seat and just sit back and relax. And then life happened. And then I realized, okay, in that life happening for 15, 16 years, my only thing that kept coming to my head was, I'm not done. And every day, you won't believe it, people think I'm crazy. I used to run at IIT. Every morning, it used to be so beautiful seeing the deer and the monkeys jumping and all of that. I used to run about 7 kilometers every day, and every single kilometer in my head, I would think and visualize how I would come back. Every day.
Come back in the movies.
Come back in the movies. I have visualized scenes. I have visualized the hero. I have visualized detailing of how the face-offs, everything, including music. So I would have music playing, and this is what I would visualize every single day for those 15 years. And when people say manifestations work, I really, truly believe manifestations work.
So you manifested Radharama.
I absolutely manifested it.
So it's not Prashant Neel who came to you, but you pulled him into your orbit.
I probably did, yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't Prashant Neel that approached you, it was Sriya Reddy who pulled Prashant Neel into her orbit with her manifestation.
I think, I don't know, but when you're saying it like that, probably yes. But it is, I'm telling you, manifestations happen. Like, you know, I've seen so many actors also say it on camera where they've said they've manifested roles. And I've also manifested watching Joker, Heath Ledger performing. And I will tell you this on camera that I said, you know what, I have to do this. And I wanted to do it. And if it was my last film, this is what I wanted to do. And I got a small, very, very small opportunity to do it in Salar for the interval scene. And I told Prashant that I wanted to laugh. And he's like, no, don't. Like, Radhamar doesn't laugh. I said, no, Prashant, can I just give a smirk like that? Can I just... And I would watch his videos in the caravan, go and perform. Watch and go and perform. Watch and go and perform.
Watch the Joker.
Heath Ledger. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, for me, it was one of the greatest performances ever. And how he gave himself, it is not just what the director wanted him to give. He gave something out of his own self. And for me, even sitting there and watching, people would wonder what I'm watching and going when Prashant calls me to come and perform. I was only watching him.
What did you use as a reference for OG?
For me, OG was again, I said reality, right? For me, it was, in Telugu cinema, we see a lot of little over the top, little...
I love it, but it's not little. What we love is the the over the topness of it.
Yeah.
Right? It's
So I wanted to kind of tone that down to many notches, and I wanted to give again a little bit of myself in it. So I told Sujit that words that will come out of my mouth as dialogues should be so organic. So I had requested for the script 1 month well in advance, so that I've rehearsed those lines so much that when I'm on set, it's just the performance that plays out. And I wanted to be very natural. I didn't want any cinematic thing. So there was no reference point here. For me, the reference point was to be as real and as natural as possible. So be it my clothes, the no makeup, and then words just flowing like fluidity. But what really stood out was thinking your Gita, and here you wanting to go and save your son, wanting to tell him the truth. For me, it was that.
right, and it's also you're playing with Prakash Raj for what, the third or fourth time?
Third time, yeah.
Third time. What's it like when you develop a kind of rapport with such an actor, like such a good actor, right? It's
For me, he's like family, and I think I'm the only one who bullies him so much. And he's like, please just give her what she wants, or she's going to keep taunting me. Because when they won Kanjivaram, they felt very bad that I didn't win an award for Kanjivaram because one, I didn't dub for myself. So they literally, I remember them calling me up when they got the news, Prakash Raj sir and Priyan sir, and telling me, we're very sorry, but we will make it up for you. And we will make sure you get an award sometime in your life. So I keep telling, I was telling Sujit, you don't need to put the camera on him now. You put the camera on me now. He's had enough. Everybody knows he's a legend now. So he's forgotten now. It has to be only me. But he's so sweet. Like, even after watching OG, I spoke to Ponni and him, and when they validate your performance, it means something. For me, Prakash Raj sir is family, and he holds a very special place in my heart. So he's like, you don't need to do anything. That reassurance. That's why even on stage, I was talking about Pawan Kalyan sir, and I had to reiterate saying that about him being the greatest person, about him being the great politician people love, adore. For me, it is a man of that stature to empower a woman and to say you are doing a good job and what you're doing and you're on the right path. For me, is like $1 million.
Yeah.
I feel for strong women like me, I feel that is all I want in life.
So when you say empower, it means like
Encouraging.
allowing a strong female character to exist in a film. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
No. It is about reinstating what I was thinking. For the fact that he says what you're doing is good. You're on the right path. You're on the right journey. Just stick with it.
Oh, as in like your choice of roles, not necessarily OG.
No, not just OG, but just in general as person, right? Because some people come across saying that you're too powerful, you're too strong, your eyes are too powerful. Please don't look into the camera. Please look away. You are so dark. Can you just brighten yourself? Your shoulders are too erect. You seem like you've been lifting weights. Can you come down with your shoulders? So these are the things which are not too cool.
I heard that when you were producing once, somebody says you shouldn't be on the set in pants or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, this is something that I heard.
No, I mean, I don't remember this.
Okay. Because you're like, you should come in a sari and be a
No, I would have taken that person's head off. But this is the thing. I feel always encouraging people is something that, even for me, I always encourage women. And for me, more than male fans, I feel it's the women that look up to me and I owe something to them. I get so many, you won't believe it. On an everyday basis, I get women messaging me saying that you have been an inspiration. And guess what? By watching my workout videos, somewhere they resonate with that strength they see there.
I think we seek people that inspire us.
Yeah.
And strength is one of the ways that I think you saying no to, let's say, even that item number in the Big Heroes film, is a big thing, because a lot of people would say it's a big hero film, it's likely to get me eyeballs, let me just go do this, and probably that's going to help my career or whatever it is. But you've been very strict about what you want and what you don't want, and I think that's something that
I
inspires a lot.
always go with my gut feeling, and I truly believe that anybody can say something that you have done this, now you need to do a bigger film, this, that, and I had to say no to it because my gut tells me not to do it. So I don't go with the norms and permutations and what people expect out of me. I believe what I just go with my heart. For me, everything is my heart. I don't think too much with my mind. For me, it's my emotions that come in first.
Is there a comedian inside you?
No,
So a comic role is not something that.
definitely not.
But going by your logic, if you want, like that Malayalam film, if you put yourself in that situation, wouldn't your inner strength help you do the comic role?
I would, but I have to be convincing at it, right?
Right.
For me, I have to play to the gallery. And I don't think I will be able to play because I know that's a weakness that
Plus, you want a sword.
I want a sword for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like why shouldn't the men have all the fun?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So for me, I feel right now at this phase, then maybe when you interview me few years from now, I would be in a different phase. But right now, I'm all about jumping in a tree, slashing somebody, like fighting and doing all of that is my mood as of now.
Current mood.
Current mood.
Hashtag current mood.
And I think when you put it out in the universe, that somewhere, maybe something is brewing.
Yeah.
And I feel
There's like some director right now
Yes.
writing an action script.
and maybe he's already come to me. Like I'm in that phase right now where I'm only looking for those, but also looking for something soft, endearing as well. I feel that is also me.
Yeah.
So I like to also dabble in that because I feel I can bring in a little bit sense of reality into those roles as well.
You spoke about the fact that people said that you're dark. Now, how important is, now you've been in the Tamil Telugu industries, in your journey, have you seen, like, how much have you seen of this being an important aspect of somebody being considered for the role of a heroine? Skin color.
See, earlier it was a really big no-no.
Earlier, as in when you started out?
Yeah. I mean, they would, like, on my face, people would say, but she's dark. So how do we deal with that? But over a period of time, having done films like Kanjivaram and Veil and all of that, where they required you to actually go stand under the sun and come. Today, I feel there is a space, and I think more than half the space for dark-skinned women because people like that. But there is an obsession still, I would feel. There is an obsession with the fairer skin person. The moment you're dark, I used to swim a lot, so you automatically tan a lot. So I would, what happened to you? Why are you looking so dark? I'm like, I wanted to look dark, so that is why I went and swam in the bright sun. There is an appreciation for it right now because in the West, people are hailing, everything is becoming bronzers and everything, that people are okay with a dark skin. But then in the South, I still feel there's a little bit of an obsession, but it's become far better.
It's better now?
It's become huge. It's become much better.
Right. I heard that once you were compared to Tabu and Smita Patil by none other than Shyam Benegal.
Yes, during Kanchivaram, yes.
Tell me about that. That must have been a real high.
Yeah, it was. I remember Priyan sir telling me this, and he told me, you don't have to sit and cry saying that we all won the awards. You got the biggest award, and the biggest award being that the most renowned director said that, this girl reminds me of Smita Patil, this girl reminds me of Tabu. And I was like, oh God, this is the best compliment ever, like ever. And I also remember somebody telling me, somewhere we feel like how Rekha used to look back in the day. There's a little bit of glimpses of her, but on a constant being compared to these people who I've looked up to and coming into cinema, they were the reasons for me, right? For me, it was the most greatest thing. And I think till today, Kanjivaram has been the best decision I've ever made.
Hmm.
I remember making that decision against all odds. And I remember people saying, oh, you're going to get married. And I remember going to Priyan sir's house and saying, sir, I can't do your film because this was just a couple of days before we went to Mysore to shoot. And I said, I can't do because if I do this, I probably won't be able to get married because they don't want me to act in movies. And I don't know, I'm just presuming that, this could be the thing. So he said,
I'm not getting the connection.
okay, so basically it was the time that I just got engaged.
Right.
And I just...
The role came to you after you were engaged?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just said, at this junction doing movies, I don't know, how it will go down well. And I remember my mother telling me, I don't care what you do, you are doing this particular film. It is not about a film, but it is for you as a person to do this film. And working with Priyan sir at that point was big, huge, He was just coming out of all those big, big films. And I was like, if this is my last, and I decided it was my last film. Kanchivaram would be my last film. But I said, whatever the odds are, I will take a risk and I will do the film. So going into the film, every day on set, I would be crying. I would be an emotional wreck because I didn't know where my life was heading. I didn't know, there were so many emotions going on, right? And I would also say I was a very weak person at that point.
I can't imagine this because
Yeah.
you being, somebody who's crying every day, I just can't imagine
So
this.
it was very easy for me to play that character. And I induced the pain as well into me for me to perform that character. Deliberate and also not deliberate because I had to play that character. And for me, it was a new character. Being with such stalwarts on the set, I had to bring in my A game, which I didn't have the A game at that point. So I had to develop that A game. So one is I had to perform with my heart, and performing with Prakash Raj at that point was no easy feat. So I had to, and I wanted to be better than him. So it was too much what I was asking of myself. But you can't be better than him, but at least you can come somewhere in between, I felt. And it was a very difficult time, extremely difficult time. There was not a day where I was not crying. And there was, not for the scene, otherwise as well. So I was a really broken, emotional wreck, I would say, at that point.
I think that if you aim to be better than somebody that's very good already, then you at least fall maybe 50 to 60% of what. So I think that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
I often do that. I say I need to be good as this so that I land here.
Correct.
Otherwise, I'd land here.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to motivate yourself.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I had to, because being with some director like of that, you can't be sitting and trying to expect him to tell you how to do and what to do, right? You had to come up. The mental makeup had to be there. Then those tweaks as a director he would be able to do. But if mental makeup was not there, then it would have been extremely difficult. Yeah. I went in knowing this is going to be the best of me. I went in with that. And that's why when Priyan sir till today, he and Prakash Raj keep making fun of me, because they all would be sitting in 3 or 4 chairs with Sabu sir and all of them. And I would turn my chair the other way around and I would look the other side. So Priyan sir was like, you're wondering who the hell is she? But this is for me, they don't realize that I had to do all these things to make me feel invincible. It was not an attitude.
And that's power again.
It is power again.
So,
yeah.
That's full circle.
It is.
Yeah. So,
but you get people do misconstrue it as attitude or egoistic or whatever you might call it. But it's not. It is, I'm trying to survive. And this is my way of surviving. People get it wrong because of the way I look, this harsh shell. But I am the most empathetic, emotional human being you would ever come across, with the softest of heart. But to survive in this world, to survive with all these people and to feel and look invincible, this is what I have to do. So people like Pushkar and Gaiters they also saw OG and they called me. And working with them again has been such a game changer with Sulal. They broke me as an actor in many different ways, in a good way, right? And if Regina stood out, they are the reasons that character stood out. And they taught me a lot. And they made me, broke me. And today, Regina, it's been 3-4 years and people still talk about that character. It's because of their doing, right? I was a mere actor that fulfilled their wish, but it was those two who wrote that character. So, yeah.
So, when I see you next on screen, it's going to be a sword or nothing?
Yes, for sure.
You're not going to do anything else?
Right now, I think I am in the mood for action. And I think cinema is also wanting something different. I got, for OG, I'll tell you the comments. People were hailing my performance. And I'm like, really? Do you really think so? This is that one laugh in the trailer. I don't know if you remember that one wicked laugh.
Yeah.
That became viral.
I think they called you the OG.
And they started putting these headbands on me, you know, those memes and all of that. And I was like, wait a second, it was just a laugh. And then I got comments saying that maybe you should have just fired the gun. Maybe we were expecting you to take one of those katanas and fight. So then I realized that there is somewhere a bit of an expectations coming. So I want to play to that gallery at this point. I've done the heavy lifting in many films now. I want to do this.
So someone write a Kill Bill for you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? May that happen soon.
Thank
I'll
you so
manifest
much.
it for you as well.
Thank you.
And all the best. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you. As
so much.
usual, it's lovely talking to you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
அப்பவும் இப்பவும் எப்பவும் சென்னை சில்க்ஸ்.
அதிரடி கலெக்ஷன் சரவெடி செலிப்ரேஷன்.
ஆண்டுக்கு 7.25% வரை வட்டி. உஜ்ஜீவன் ஸ்மால் ஃபைனான்ஸ் பேங்கின் மேக்ஸிமா சேவிங்ஸ் அக்கவுண்ட்.
லக்ஷ்மி செராமிக்ஸ் நம்ம ஷாப் அனைத்திலும் டாப்.